This week on Pivot with Purpose.
They ended up getting divorced because she did not want children.
I think it moved way too fast.
But I also believe that it's us now where we are and what we've been through, seeing things in retrospect or seeing things that happened.
Right.
But it happened really fast.
Right.
But who am I to judge what you say you feel? Like, y'all just got married, so you're choosing to heal without your wife. You just had a child. Like, you're like, did it. I'm about to go. When this woman was minding her business, living her best life, newly divorced.
They may have a whole story that nobody knows. Like
the one I had.
Like
I clearly had TK
If you've been
Kirkland
victimized by a raggedy baby daddy and you want to tell your story, I think that might be my podcast.
Hey friend, you're listening to Pivot with Purpose. This is my show where I pivoted from shit I'm 30, where I was dreading turning 30. I had a failed marriage, failed engagement after that, and I don't have a relationship with my immediate family. But through it all, I came out the other side with a thriving business, an unexpected radio morning show of my own, and a platform where I can reach millions of people and help them walk in their truth. I am now celebrating every step of my journey into continuously finding my purpose, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes this journey looks like shit, and it probably sounds even worse, but it's still our journey, and I'm learning right along with you to enjoy it. There's always a rainbow after the rain falls. Now, if you need advice in pivoting in any aspect of your life, relationships, career, spirituality, send your questions or story to askcarlawilmares@gmail.com or shoot me a DM at Carla Wilmares. Now, let's start the show.
Welcome back to another episode. Yeah, this is actually episode 4 of Back to Back. When I tell you I've only just kind of switched my shirt and my outfit and we're back in here, but I don't know if it's the Adderall or the fact that I've had like really great guests and episodes that I filmed today. Like, I feel good. I usually have this anxiety of doing the show, like being the host, right? I really like being behind the scenes, but like when I get in and then like we're going, it just feels really good. So the first episode of the day was kind of like shoot the shits, and I'm gonna do it again because I love bringing some dope guests and for you guys to learn stuff, but also like I have a lot of fun with my friends, but it has to be intentional, and intentionally we're gonna shoot the shits today. So P is back as
Save
6
the
6
best
Big
for
calls
last.
you. He be calling you P, and I be like, I want to call her P too.
You're so cool.
Can I call you P? I'm
Sure.
not gonna call you P. You're Paola. But I kind of feel like I want to call you P too. But then I'd be like, am I taking his words?
Yes. No, so you know what's funny? A lot of people call me P or they call me Pau Pau. So it's either
Pow
or.
pow?
Pau Pau.
I don't think I'm gonna do. I think of Papa when I tell the song. I'm like, I'm gonna get Papa. That's what I
Here I
think.
come in. The other day, no, he's punching me now. I don't know what happened
He
the other
was
day.
fighting you, like
I didn't do
legit
anything.
fighting you.
I didn't do anything.
I was like, I've never seen him like he punches like going at it like he had practiced this before.
Yeah.
So confused where that came from. Because I don't play fight with him.
We were tickling each other. And then he punched me.
He said, enough. Enough. This is how, I can't tell you how I feel, but this is how I feel. Pow, pow. I was like, all right. And then grabs your butt.
He did.
Yeah.
And my boobs.
Yeah, the boobs thing, he's a boob man.
I was sexually assaulted
By a
and
3-year-old.
beat up. I need to file a claim and I'm suing.
Don't sue yet, please. Don't wait till he's 18 to sue. And now I gotta pay. Well, as we're starting this episode, I want to tell you guys straight off the bat, Just Pales at Just Pales on Instagram, y'all. So she is on a mission.
I am.
Paola's on a mission, apparently, to get a subscribers tab.
I do.
On Instagram.
I do.
You need to have 10,000 followers. And she has
503.
So we are
9,500.
497 short of the 10,000. She needs these followers because she wants a subscriber tab.
To bring content. To bring content to my subscribers.
So let's give them some examples of pages that they might see.
Me working out at the gym.
That can go on the regular page.
No, you gotta pay to see me work out.
Ain't nobody gonna pay for that. Let me tell you what she gonna pay. She gonna bring the subscriber tabs back to that 2012 After Dark Instagram. That's what she gonna do. She gonna do the.
I was outside. I wasn't even on Instagram in 2012.
The BET. What was the BET things called? After Dark.
Oh gosh.
Come on. You know what it is.
BET After Dark.
Was it BET After Dark?
I think it was BET After Dark.
No, it was something else. But y'all know what we're talking about when the videos were like.
They used to play Tip Drill.
What? That's a stripper, ain't it? The girl. I actually met her. She was pretty cool. She was dope.
I'll bring her to my subscriber tab.
Yeah.
So get me to 10,000.
I don't know what she's gonna do over there.
I mean,
but apparently she's gonna give y'all content.
I want to do it.
I'm gonna support you.
You want me to be more? Listen, I'm in my gym girly era. I'm in my influencer era. I'm gonna be out here this summer.
Outside,
pero en la casa, but in the world, in the waves, the wild web.
In the wild web.
Yes,
that will be her. I am trying to figure out how to get off completely.
I mean, I need you to do my pictures. We're gonna have to do pictures.
Ooh, I got somebody for you.
Who?
Who? I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But she really does she wants a subscriber tab, and I'm going to do everything possible to get her there. So I'm even going to tag her and everything. Just go ahead and follow her.
Yep.
And you all let me know I'm not subscribing. Y'all let me know what she did, because I just feel like I'm just close enough to her. I don't need to go subscribers close. I really don't.
I think it's so funny how you love to share your situation. Oh, I did this. And I'm like, I did. Stop.
Bro, I'll be like, so I had sex or whatever.
And it was amazing.
I'm like, it was so good.
My ovaries fell out.
Yeah, all that. And then she'll be like, I was hanging from a thing. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. She'd be like, I went to this party. And then she starts explaining the party. And yo me da como que me pongo nerviosa.
But how?
I'd be like, oh my God.
Have you heard what you've told me?
You
freaked out over a text message that came in my phone one time in your car.
I just feel like, because you be saying,
and it wasn't the text, it was the title of how the person's name was saved.
Wild.
That alone.
So funny, because I mean, you've seen what mine is saved under, and it's just 4 letters. There's no emojis.
Mine was 4 letters too.
Yours had 4 letters and like 6 emojis, and those emojis told a story. And the story those emojis told, I did not want to know. It's like, you didn't need no words. The emojis alone told the story. Now, she a freaky one. I'm like, I need to catch up, but then I'd be like, do I need to catch up? I don't know. It just might be just 2 different worlds.
You got bad knees.
My knees click. I can't do what you do.
Got bad knees.
I be clicking. Oh, it's so embarrassing.
No.
Okay, so today we're gonna go over some of the things that we've seen online that kind of like have made us feel some type of way, or we've had just opinions on it, especially like when we're on the phone with each other. And I figured that while you're sitting at home, you know, drinking your wine, or at work, and you need some entertainment, let's figure out how you feel about this too.
Yes.
So we're gonna start off with Jeezy. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Jeezy. All right. I feel like Jeezy was one of those people that we see our men, and we're like, we love to see somebody like glow up and mature and become like a better person, and then leave the streets and get a great job.
Be a leader.
Yes. And
powerful.
Clean up. Find a good woman.
Smell good.
He looks like he smells good.
He looks like he smells so good. You just want to like just sniff him.
Oh yeah?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Lick his head.
All right. Well, I was more going towards the direction that I just love to see a man clean himself up and just kind of leave that lifestyle that perhaps
that makes it attractive a little bit.
Yeah, but that lifestyle that we had when it was like we were young, right? And at some point you have to mature, and I love that. You know, that people have that journey. You're not just mature from the moment you are born, right? You have to go through things to get there, and it becomes better.
Right.
Well, apparently earlier this week, or whenever you're listening, at some point he is getting a divorce from Jeannie Mai.
He became a regular. Just that quickly, he became a regular.
And it could be this whole situation. It could be that I'm triggered by it, and they're just things that we see that maybe the average person won't see, and movements. And again, we don't know nothing but what Hollywood Unlocked is telling us. And
Jeannie, if you want to come on the pivot, please let us know.
Jeannie,
you can reach out to Carla, reach out to Just Pales, get me to 10,000.
I'm willing to talk to her. And even like just women that have gone through a space like this. So give me a little bit of background if you don't know who Jeannie Mai is. She is on The View, or was on The View.
No, she was
on The Talk.
No. Oh gosh, now I can't think what the show is. It was on CW.
The one with all the women?
It wasn't.
It's not The View. It's definitely Talk. The Talk. Oh, come on. Now we're going to have to edit this. Hold on.
Kaysen, we're going to have to, not Kaysen, Courtney.
No, now it's going to be the people here. The Talk, Jeannie, if I'm right.
It's not The Talk.
The Real.
The Real. I was like, I know it's not The Talk.
Okay.
The Talk has an Asian woman, but not her.
Okay. So Jeannie Mai is from The Real, and she's done other things. Well, she was married to
a gentleman,
a whole other man for years. I think like a decade, 10 years, right?
Yeah, they were together for a long time.
They ended up getting divorced because she did not want children. And I'm sure there were
didn't
other
agree.
things behind the scenes because, marriages have their own things going on. But she
Mhm.
was very adamant publicly. And again, we're going to dissect this entire scenario off of what we just know that was said publicly.
Right.
That she said she did not want children. They didn't agree with that and the way they wanted to move with their family. So they divorced.
Yep. And
When-
he found somebody else and he had a child with someone else.
Right away, too.
And she
he's
was
happy.
thriving. She was
Doing
living her best
so
life.
Good. Doing so good.
She was not bothering nobody.
Not a soul.
let's
Not that we
preface
know
that.
of. Right. Minding her business.
She was minding her business.
So Jeezy's not getting cleaned up, and he decides that he loved him, this little Asian lady, right?
Mhm.
And they start dating. She is glowing. They look so good. And I'm actually not usually one that's like against interracial relationships. I
No.
really don't care.
Love is love.
Love who you gotta love. As long as you're doing right by them and they're happy, do what you do. So they're falling in love, and I think it progressed pretty quickly.
I think it moved way too fast.
But I also believe that it's us now where we are and what we've been through, seeing things in retrospect or seeing things as it happened. But
Right.
it happened really fast.
Right.
But who am I to judge what you say you feel, right? Like Carlos and Carolina, I just did an episode with them, and they said they got married within a year. Like literally, it was like boom, 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 boom. Like it was super quick. Like within 6 months, I think they were married, from engagements to married. Like it was fast. So it does work for some people, right?
Right.
So they were moving fast. In my opinion, it would have been fast, but they said they were good and they were happy. They went through with it. They get married. She gets pregnant, and they decide to have a child
immediately after the wedding.
It wasn't an oops baby. It was like they wanted a family. He wanted a family with her, and he changed what she already knew to her core that she did not want, and it was to have children.
Mhm.
So from the love that she had for this man, she chose to have a baby with him.
Mm-hmm.
They have this baby, and it just seems like little girl is beautiful. They have this child, and all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye,
Mm-hmm.
I think the girl was maybe a year old, or right
a little
after
bit
her
over
first
a year,
birthday.
maybe.
Divorce.
Not even divorced. We talked about divorce. It was divorce. I found out on social media you want to divorce me.
This episode is brought to you by Smart Water. You know, I always tell you the secret to life is to mind your business and drink your water. Well, now I'm going to tell you the exact water you really need to unlock this happiness in your life that I currently have in mind, and that is Smart Water. Today I'm minding my business, and I just love holding my Smart Water can. Yep, you heard me. It's a can. It is so sleek. I love it. I also have a pack of water bottles constantly at my house. They're so perfect. I fit them into my backpack when I'm headed to the airport, when I'm outside on a walk, when I'm taking the baby, I give him his own little Smart Water. You know, they are perfect for all of us. I don't know about you, but I'm constantly overthinking. And in this world where we all overthink, Smart Water is providing a change of pace and a moment of clarity with a simple choice of hydrating with Smart Water. I'm constantly overthinking, and I do that no more when it comes to my water. Smart Water is my choice. Now, life is full of choices. Smart Water is the simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more.
So Jeezy filed for divorce, and she found out on social media. She had no idea it was coming. Well, it's safe to assume that there was probably some issues going on, but maybe some differences, but nothing that she might have thought
We're
was
going to
lead
get
to
divorced or we can't talk.
Especially with a baby, right? I think that there are so many things that happen when you have a baby, especially as a first-time mom. You kind of lose yourself. You're into this space with a baby, and I'm sure if you're someone who's selfish and wants somebody's attention constantly, you're not going to realize that when you're actually in a relationship with someone and you guys have a child, a lot of that attention is going to go to the child. So all this to say, they get a divorce.
Not yet. The divorce isn't finalized yet.
It isn't?
No. They're in the
You're
they're
right,
in the midst.
because there's still, you can't get a divorce without figuring out the custody.
Yeah,
thing.
they're in the midst of it right now.
You're right.
And
you're right.
adding this child thing is more fuel to the fire in the midst of this, because even their divorce situation, it was like the whole prenup thing. She said she signed the prenup in duress because he gave it to her. I think it was maybe like the night or 2 nights before the actual wedding. And she was like, everybody's already here. Like what? So she basically is, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, she's saying that she ended up signing that prenup under duress. Like she really didn't have it reviewed by a lawyer. She was just like, I love this person. Everybody's already here. I don't think this person's going to screw me over. Let me just.
And it's not only that, when I think of, again, and this is completely assuming from what we see, I don't know them, they don't know me, and I don't know all of the nitty gritty. But from my experience, I remember things moving really fast, right? And there are some people that keep you in this constant state of,
Let's
and
go,
I
let's
wouldn't
go, let's
even
go.
say chaos, but it's just like we're moving here.
Yeah.
You love me, let's go here, let's do that. And it feels good because they're also giving you love and attention through it all. And you love this person, right? You're loving from a whole heart, like a whole place, and what's the word I'm looking for?
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that's the word. It was another word, but wholeheartedly, you're loving them, and they're just moving really fast. So even something like that, where you're in the midst of a wedding. Do you know how chaotic a wedding is? From planning, especially a wedding of that magnitude.
And I also want to say, I thought it was so crazy how they planned this wedding, but he also wanted it to be very private. We didn't find out the wedding happened till after the wedding happened. But you had all these people. You wanted it to be so private. So it's like you have all this stuff. All these people are here. This whole wedding is here. And you look at it as things were moving and, okay, let's get married. Let's do this. And you're looking at the positive side. I was so in love. I would look at it at the other side. Like if I pump the brakes because something doesn't feel good, I'm the bad person in this. You don't love me? Why are you having doubts? That alone would have driven me crazy.
Insane.
Crazy.
So I really bring all this up because they're in the midst of this divorce. A lot of things to me trigger me. I want to raise a red flag because it's not my situation, but I just be like, that seems familiar.
It tastes like something I've had. And that's, you know that feeling now. I told you.
When I tell you,
it's
like you go,
you get goosebumps.
That tastes like something. Absolutely.
The smell of something, the way something sounds, a sentence, you're just like, whoa.
Absolutely.
Verbatim.
You feel it. Like you feel it in your spirit. So we just found out that he is now trying to get full custody of this 2-year-old. And like he has been going, ever since the divorce, he's been going on all this like press tour and book tour and really kind of not talking about it, but in the sense of making like, I'm this whole person now and I'm in this healing journey. But it's like, y'all just got married. So you're choosing to heal without your wife. You just had a child. Like you're like, did it. I'm about to go. When this woman was minding her business, living her best life, newly divorced. So to me, trying to get full custody of it, to me, it feels like 1, control, and 2, say I don't want to pay child support without saying I don't want to pay child support.
Isn't it crazy? Control. Isn't it crazy that even though you know you got it, you still don't want to give it up?
Because it's more of the fact of I'm giving, I don't want to give you nothing. It's looking at her versus looking at the child. And I feel like that's those people that are like really upset about child support that still don't want to split 50-50. It's more of, I don't want you to think I'm doing anything for you. I want to make things harder for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of evil.
It is. It's already hard. It's already hard. Why are you making it harder?
I can't.
I saw a post that said if I was Jeannie, I would tell the judge, Jeezy like to drink, Jeezy like to smoke, Jeezy like to mix Armor Hammer with Coke. Because I'm sorry.
And they use lyrics on trial now. They did it for
Thug. And everybody's lyrics is getting inspected. Why can't we do this? That video
was so funny in court when they were playing Young Thug's song. And it's like, and I'd like to live here the lifestyle. And everyone is just like, how hard could that have been?
That song went hard, though.
That song, you can't help but bob your head to it. And you have to sit there and the song is playing in the background. And you're like,
you got to analyze the lyrics for the judge.
But you can't bob your head because you can't tell the judge, like, I'm feeling it. That was my song. Oh, my goodness. So difficult. But anywho, so he's asking for primary custody. He's basically saying that the baby would have more stability with him versus being with her mom. All of it just really felt yucky to me. It felt like, again, shows me social media and how ignorant social media is about things. She is a great mom. And I think even you were one of the people like, oh, she was just gone in China.
Yeah, when she was on that
trip.
For
a month and she didn't have the kid. That was somebody who made that up. The child was with her. But she just wasn't posting her because she's living her life. And I can only imagine like the whirlwind that she's going through, right? So it's like, if you don't post it, it didn't happen. And it's like, that's not true. And social media takes things. Black Twitter, Black Instagram, we
Spanish one, because I be in the Spanish ones.
The Hispanic, the Puerto Rican ones?
No,
Jesus.
This is the thing. I also feel like this is very calculated of him.
Absolutely.
I feel like this didn't just happen. This was very calculated of him. He's been very private on social media for how long now? So it doesn't look out of the ordinary that you're private. Because you've been private for a while.
Ooh, you stop it. Ooh, Jesus.
So it's like, okay, so this is the plan. On top of that, he has 2 other children.
We don't know anything about.
Right. We don't know anything about them, but guess who's not messing with them? The moms. So whatever arrangement he has with these women, he's not on child support for none of those kids, but he's also not with those kids 100% of the time, or we don't know. Because he's very private. Now, this is where I
also,
said,
those women, what do we know about them? Nothing. They're not in the public eye like Jeannie Mai is.
They may have a whole story that nobody knows. Like
the one I had. Like I clearly had TK
If you've been victimized by a raggedy baby daddy and you want to tell your story, I think that might be my podcast.
That might be your show.
I think that might be my show.
And as messy as it is, I have a recording of an hour with TK Kirkland's baby mama with the only child that is the youngest. I have it. I'll never put that out. I'll never really put publicly all the things that she told me. But all I know is that I felt it in my heart when he was saying certain things. Why I was so angry.
If it quacks like a duck.
Quack, quack.
If it waddles like a duck.
Waddle, waddle.
It's a duck.
He was quacking.
It's a duck.
It was quacking. The duck was there, and I felt it in my spirit. And I know I get a lot of lashback on that episode because I was just annoyed and angry. And I'm like, you're lying, but I can't just flat out be like, you're lying, right? So I feel like the same thing. Right? It was very calculated, and the women aren't going to come up.
I feel like that's even more messed up for someone to do that to somebody else. Why would you come to me and disturb my peace, my happiness, because of something that you want temporarily? Realistically, if he only wanted to be with her for funsies, she probably would have been okay with that.
But that's not funsies to them. And I think that's where for us as people, humans, because it can happen to men or women, we need to have discernment on who are we around and really take our time.
Even when you take your time, it's a gamble.
Absolutely. And I just had this conversation I was telling you with 66 Bay. It was like, you can have your wall up, right? Mm-hmm. But when you have your wall up, nothing comes in and nothing goes out. Yeah. So you're in this constant state of just safe, but you'll never experience true love. But if you lower that wall down,
then they're gonna shoot you at paintballs and leave you,
or they can love you and protect you, but
and
it's a
then
gamble.
Leave you.
But it's
this is too soon.
Okay.
More of the story is fuck with these guys. Get your shit, make yourself happy, and keep it pushing, girls.
That was not the moral of the story.
It is. It's the moral. It's the moral. Don't have no babies. No. Stay on birth control. Fuck these guys. It'll be all right.
That was not the moral.
Let's have a good summer.
That's Paola's.
Let's have a good summer, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck these bitches.
I want to fall in love.
You
and my walls are down.
Your
literally.
Pants too. Your pants. Your walls, your windows open, the doors are open.
Oh my God.
The curtains are being left open in the middle of the day.
No, I feel like you have to let it down. So Jeannie Mai took a risk by lowering her wall and letting him in. I've lowered my walls at times. And maybe at times it was too early or I didn't wait long enough, but that's just the risk you take. Like when you go to a casino and gamble, or if you do the stock market, or if you start a business, or if you take on a job, right? You take on this job and you're putting all these hours and you might skip some days. And then what happens? Like you get fired and you might not have a severance. So it can happen in any way. But let's say someone offers you right now a very high 6-figure job. You're probably like, okay, let me make sure I really love this place. You go in 6 months, they can fire you and you probably relocated and now don't have, you know what I mean? That can happen. Yeah. But we're willing to do it more for a business, or we're willing to do it more for gambling, but not for love.
Because, okay, this is the difference with that.
What?
When you gamble, you're making the choice to walk in there and say, you know what? I might lose some money.
But when that's how you're walking into love.
But this is the thing. You didn't walk into love. You fell into love. This person... When it comes to these people, this person learns you.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where discernment comes.
And I think that's where people like me have a hard time when something goes wrong. It's like, damn, I thought I did everything that I was supposed to.
But if you look back, honestly, because if I am 100% honest, like I usually am on this pod.
Oh,
I am. Okay. If we're being completely honest, I can look back and say there are some things that I did overlook. Yeah. I should have.
In hindsight,
right. It's like I felt like I did everything right. I dotted all my I or crossed all my T's, dotted all my I's. But at the same time, I should have called Erica before I got pregnant. You know what I mean? That would have helped me. If I would have really did a little bit more digging into why he wasn't around for King,
Mm-hmm.
that would have given me a bigger, but I believed what everybody else was saying. Hey, she the crazy one. She's not allowing him to be. I believe these things. And now I'm like,
one is a coincidence, two is a fact. 3, 4, 5.
I like that.
Right.
I like that. And there's 3 coming. So we're finna find out then, Sometimes they say 3 times a charm. I don't know. Listen, I would hope so because at the end of the day, it's a life.
Did you just do a pregnancy review?
I did it already earlier, so it's all right. I don't give a damn. It's out there, right? And it's like if I know about it, it is what it is. I might have felt some type of way, but I actually didn't. That was the beauty of it. I know that God has definitely made a move in my life.
That it doesn't bother.
It didn't bother me. It's unfortunate. And I see it and
Mhm.
I'm like, man, that is sad because at the end of the day, that's a baby.
That's a child that's gonna have to.
That's
And her as a woman too.
absolutely.
It's gonna
I don't
change her.
even, I can't even say oh, fuck that bitch. Absolutely not.
No.
I know where you are. I've seen that. I've been there. I know exactly what you're feeling. But you know what? That is your
like I
journey.
say, this is their journey to go through.
Right.
And who are you to say anything?
Absolutely no. I'm nobody to say anything. I just gotta mind my business. But there's a track record of people. I have a son that I'm working on and taking care of all by myself, which I actually am so grateful for. And I'm so grateful for people like you and like Dex and my daughter and, even 6'6" Big whenever he decides to help sometimes. I think that is just the cutest thing to see him, for me to have people around me, right? Because it's not just him. My mom's not around. My sister's not around. My brother's not around. I don't have any of those people to really help with my son, but I've curated a family of people that are really real. And I just don't have them around just because they're blood, right?
And he knows that we're family too. He told me hug.
Hug.
He knows his people. He knows
He does.
who his people are. And he doesn't.
Right.
And I also say with Rylan, to her, it's not out of the ordinary that there's not a dad in the house.
And that's so sad to me.
It's not, to her, that's normal. She sees you with Sam and she doesn't think anything different. We have a friend who her daughter's father was murdered. So to her, that she sees her. And then we also have a good friend of mine, Monica, who has a beautiful relationship with her husband and her 2 kids in a beautiful house. So it's I like that she doesn't feel like she's missing out on anything because you have Sam and we have each other. We co-parent our children. And she's like, okay. It's not like she's missing out on anything. At least she's never told me.
Well, I don't think she knows, right? Because you only know as much as what you've experienced, and she hasn't experienced it, right? Psalm will never experience that person, and that is fine. He's not going to miss that because he doesn't know it.
Can't miss what you don't know.
Right, and that's the difference I see between his older brother and him, right? Psalm, that older brother is thinking about this person that it's you're abandoning me. Psalm will have his own issues at some point, but it's not necessarily those of missing someone he doesn't know because he can't. Maybe an idea of it at some point, but he doesn't know who the person is. And I'm praying, I do pray
6'6" come through. You got some football, basketball, track.
Whether it's 6'6", whether it's whoever God has for me, he also has to have for my son. Just one of those things, but I could work through it. But I know there were red flags there.
Watch this segue. Watch this segue. Look at me in my little podcast bag.
Show me.
That's when people project, going into our next topic, with Neo and Crystal.
No, that topic was
No.
I think I used it with him. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
I was on the outline schedule.
He put it on the other outline by mistake, I think.
Courtney, strike one. I had a whole
but
segue.
That would have been a really good
great
segue. Actually, we're going into the segue of the Ohio mom.
Okay.
So we can segue this by saying, essentially, sometimes we have what we don't need, right? But we have to be really careful in the way that you take it on. You really have to see my circumstance as something that was given to me by a higher power, whether you believe in God or not. It's really be grateful for whatever has been given to you. I think of Jeannie Mai, I think of you, I think of myself, I think of this new mother of this child. They probably needed it. And there's going to come a time, which happened to me, that I would look at Psalm and be like, why is this? Why? Why me? Why do I have to keep this kid? Why do I have to keep him alive?
Why did I do this?
Why did I do this? But you have to be really careful. And the reason why you have to be really careful is because if you don't, you can end up in a space where you completely disassociate from a child. And we're speaking really specifically here about children, because there was a mom in Ohio who had a baby, single mom. What her circumstances to having this child, I don't know. That's not part of what we know publicly. But this mom left her toddler alone, and the toddler died while she went on vacation
with a man for 10 days.
Jesus.
To Puerto Rico.
Baby, well, she first went on a cruise and then ended up in Puerto Rico. Like she did like 2 different trips in those 10 days and left the baby in a playpen with food and a camera. A 16-month-old, Goo Goo literally gaga. Goo Goo Gaga baby. So she was 32 years old. Not like it was a 15-year-old that didn't know any better. 32 years old with a 16-month-old. This happened last summer where she was just sentenced to life in prison without parole, which that's definitely what she
Put
deserves.
her under the jail.
Keep her there. Like you should not come back out because we have options. Now, do I understand mental health? Do I understand us being like super strapped and like sometimes I've walked out the house. Salma has been throwing a tantrum and I have a little lock thing that he can't get out and I will leave him in there and I will walk outside and walk to the middle of the street.
Oh, I've given when Rylan was a baby, I gave her to my mom.
Oh, you did? For a couple of days.
Yeah. I gave it to I told him I need you to watch her while I clean. And I packed a whole entire bag. And I said, here. And I can say on my personal, I've been in a very, very dark place postpartum wise.
Because you dealt with postpartum depression.
Yeah. And I was in a very, 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 very dark place. And I remember there was a time that I was sitting in my bathroom and she was in her crib and she was crying. And I couldn't get up. And I will say, even in that moment, which that was like the worst of my relationship, I never thought not to care for my kid.
Right.
I never thought of that. I said, I can't do it. And I called somebody. I said, here, take her. And yes, I gave her.
And if you feel like that is something you should be ashamed of, I can't take care of my kid. Girl, no. We as single moms have to know that we can't do this alone. We weren't made to do this alone.
It wasn't our choice to do it alone.
It wasn't our choice 100% to even do it. and start the process to do so. So this woman leaving the baby alone when she had neighbors that would have taken the kid. This was not the first time. So you're a habitual.
Not the first time.
You've done this multiple times.
I saw an article that said that, I don't know if based on like events or something, they said that the baby could have started displaying severe separation anxiety since she was 9 months old. Like wow. 9 months old. And I know what separation anxiety with a little kid looks like because my daughter had it when she was 1 because of her dad.
Right.
She would go into full-blown tantrums.
Jesus.
Full-blown tantrums. And I remember one day he showed up, but it was her nap time. And I'm not changing her schedule because you decide to show up randomly. I put her to sleep. She didn't want him to leave. He said that he was going to be there when she woke up. He wasn't there when she woke up. And she had a meltdown. Like a meltdown. Because she looked at me like, you told me to go to sleep. Right. And now he left. If I would have stayed awake, he probably wouldn't have left.
Right.
I felt terrible. I can't imagine what that baby felt like calling out for her mom.
Oof.
Like, just scream. Like, and ni los animales hacen esas cosas.
It's just, actually, some animals eat their babies.
Did she leave him alone?
Who?
The animal? She was right there eating him. No lo dejó solo. She was right there. You gonna die, but I'm with you.
What's wrong with you? The point is, they were not left alone.
They were not left alone.
I hear you. No, we aren't supposed to leave our kids alone.
No.
Not for a long period of time. And if you do need to leave them alone, leave them somewhere where you know they can care for themselves. This is a child that can't fend for themselves. No. This is not like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old that can get up and leave and ask for help or end up going somewhere. Diapers, a playpen, you can't get over it. You're essentially left them like caged in.
Like a dog.
Ay. But that she's not the only one. So apparently this just happened again with another mom that left their child alone while she went on a cruise.
Yo,
this child did not die. She left 2, an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. This first one was a Hispanic mom. This was a black mom, an 8 and a 6-year-old. And
the baby had the seizure, right? Is that the one?
I'm not sure. This one, from what I read, was that she left with her luggage and some of the neighbors saw her leave and days went by and she was communicating with them through a camera. And then on text messages.
So you have the sense that you know you're doing something you're not supposed to.
Right. So a camera and also texting the older son. And then the neighbor saw her leave with her luggage. I hadn't seen her come back in a few days. When they went in, they saw the kids completely malnourished, urine and feces, like a day before she came back home. And it was like, what are you doing?
How can you
Why?
have fun?
8 and 6 years old. And don't get me wrong, I feel like when we were growing up at 8 and 6 years old, we probably would have been able to manage. But an 8 and 6-year-old, they're probably scared, like, we can't leave this house. If we leave this house, mom will get in trouble. Like, she probably put the fear of God into them.
My
like,
mom put the fear of God in me.
what happens in these 4 walls stays in these 4 walls.
Yeah.
That's it. So what are these kids going through? Like, we cannot manipulate our children. Like, that's the future that we're raising. And I'm so intentional with raising Psalm in certain ways for him to understand his feelings. Like yesterday while I was boohoo crying, dancing with him, like he fell asleep on me dancing. And I just think about, like, hopefully he'll remember these times of me and him just in the dark before bedtime.
I think they do.
Dancing, because I want him to know, like, I love you. Like when Dance with My Father, Luther, that's what really broke me last
Lord.
night. And it's like
you were listening to that?
I put on My Little Love, which I always put on, and then Luther came on, and Jesus. It was hard. That was a hard one.
I think now that Ryland's getting older and she communicates,
Mm-hmm.
I think they do notice the little things. Like she told me the other day, she's like, I like hanging out with you, just you and me. For the past 6 years, she said for the past 7 years. I said, she's like, it's just been you and me. And I said, it really has.
Good observation. Great observation there. And I'm glad you've had a good time. Even after you got a whooping, you still think it's been a good time.
Hey, we're on a good roll right now.
Knock on wood. No whoopings. No whoopings.
Please, I don't like them.
No, so all that to say, I've just been seeing, like, now there's like 3 of those cases of leaving their kids alone. And it's like, bro, put your kids somewhere. Like, you can drop them off in so many different places and they won't even ask you any questions.
What about the baby's dad? Could that have been an option?
It's not an option for me.
The grandmother?
I don't have that option.
I know this woman has friends. I'm sorry. If you
Friends,
got a man, you got friends.
Like, I know that when I leave, it's like, I hit you up. And I'll be like, hey, do you have the time? Before I book my flight, it's like, what can I do? Before I leave, I make sure things are lined up. You might not have the money for a nanny, but it has to be someone, a neighbor. Or you can tell this neighbor, I have to leave. I need your help. Somebody's going to say yes.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say yes before they're like, just keep
And you know what? Unfortunately, if you don't get anybody, guess what you got to do?
Stay your ass home.
You got to say no. That's just, it sucks. Trust me, it sucks. I've been invited to do many things. Outside. And I've had to say, nope, sorry, can't. Because I don't have anybody to watch her, or I don't feel comfortable leaving her for a certain amount of time, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't. And then what pissed me off a lot too was her statement in the court before they sentenced her. She said, I understand, like, you guys may look at me like I'm a horrible person, but nobody knows what I went through. But did you die?
Were you sitting in your feces? Were you starving? No, you were taking pictures. And all on Instagram, kikiing and laughing and smiling. No, I know pictures only tell like this much of a story, or probably not even the actual story, but you were purposely out there having a great time eating, and Puerto Rico is beautiful. No, they have beautiful women. Okay, sorry. You were having a good time, and your baby was literally disintegrating.
Yeah, dying.
Jesus.
And then you come home and you changed her outfit after she was already dead, and then you call the police.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that part? Ella le cambió la ropa.
To the baby?
Yes.
The dead baby?
Yes. The baby was already dead when she
deserves
to
be under the jail.
She deserves
forever.
everything that's going on in Dáselo.
So she wouldn't be full of feces.
So that she would be clean. Like, oh, I don't know what happened to my baby. That's intense.
Also, she lied about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's intense. That's messed up. I don't feel bad. I hope, listen, if y'all in the same jail as her,
that's a sick individual.
Do what y'all gotta do.
Ooh, so let's move along from now, because that one was heavy. Those are heavy, and I don't like it.
I don't know what the outline is anymore.
It's okay. I got a good one for you. It came from you. So basically, a lot of us. When is wedding season?
Whenever I want to get married.
But isn't there a wedding season?
Isn't it like April-ish through the summer? Like April into the summer and then
maybe
fall.
Like summertime. Okay. So
like hurricane season.
It might be wedding season. Wedding season, I guess, is whenever the hell you want to get married. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting married.
Yes.
And usually you have your friends and your closest friends, and it becomes like a thing. You know, you don't have to be a huge wedding, but you usually have some bridesmaids for the women.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently there's an article going around about what you should expect from your bridesmaids and what the bride should take care of.
Yes.
I never went through with my wedding. I bought all the stuff. I asked all my bridesmaids to be my bridesmaids. I already knew who was going to be who. I just threw away all of my
The wedding prep
The
stuff?
wedding prep
You
stuff.
threw it away?
Mm-hmm.
Could have given it to Goodwill.
I didn't want to.
Okay.
I feel like there was bad juju on it.
Oh, okay.
And whoever would have gotten all that stuff, it would have been bad. Like,
I
I was
hear
cleaning
you.
with the girl. It was all the, what is it, where we
The
go?
robes?
The bachelorette stuff, the robes that had the names, the cups. Like, I threw it all out.
I mean, I feel you.
It was just, I had bad juju. But can you give me like a breakdown of what they want the bridesmaid to take care of or not to take care of?
No, they want the bride. If Carla's the bride, Carla, you're the bride.
I will be the bride one day.
You're the bride. And you ask 7 girls to be your bridesmaid / maid of honor, whatever. You're in charge of their dresses, their hair, their makeup, everything. Travel if it's needed, hold accommodations if they have to like go out of town, because you chose them to be a bridesmaid. They didn't choose to be a bridesmaid.
Well, actually, don't you ask them first and they have to accept?
Yeah.
Okay. So traditionally,
Mm-hmm.
you ask, or at least in the American
Hispanic
culture,
community, or
the American culture, I would
Yeah.
say, because I don't know what it's like in other countries.
cultures, yeah.
You ask someone to be your bridesmaid, and once they say yes,
Mhm.
you become a bridezilla. Just kidding. So you say yes, and then they tell you like which dress or what place to go to get your dress,
The colors
of the dress,
Mhm.
you know what they want the hair to kind of be like,
where the wedding is going to be.
all of that. And you, as a friend that chose to be there, will support them by making sure you're there, getting your outfit, and getting your hair and makeup done.
Participating.
You participate.
Helping in planning the bridal shower, the bachelorette party,
Right.
whatever. If they need help with DIY, then you're showing up for the DIYs, whatever.
Like the bridesmaids basically are your helpers to make sure that your wedding goes smoothly on your wedding day.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it? 'Cause I'm going to say how I feel.
About the
Bride taking care of everything.
I don't know. I think that's stupid. That's crazy. You already, I mean, I've never been married, but as a groom and a bride,
had a
you're
wedding.
already taking on a lot of the expenses. You're already taking on the expense of hosting a wedding, food, bar, entertainment, dress. You're already taking on a lot. If you get asked to be a bridesmaid, assume in your mind, okay, I may have to pay for a dress. I may have to travel if they decide to do a destination wedding. And then you need to decide, can I afford this?
Right. And that's when you got to tell the bride,
Can I
hey,
afford
I
this?
can or I cannot for whatever reason.
Right. And then in that instance, if you ask me and you're like, hey, I'm going to St. Lucia for my wedding. Carla, it's back to school season. When is it? And then it's up to me. Can I afford it? Can I not do it? And if I have to say no, I will be there in spirit. I will be a part of all the things that are in the United States. I will help as much as I can.
I have to
but if I can't go, I can't go.
I have to accept that or say, well, I'll flip the bill.
Yeah.
So I think that in a sense, there's levels to this, right? I think for the majority of people, that's what's expected for you to take care of whatever it is. But you also, as a bride, have to have like good judgment in who you're asking, what you're asking of them. Because I feel like there are some people out there that be like, well, you need to get $1,000 dress and these $500 shoes, and the makeup artist, I'm gonna bring her, but she charges $300 a face. And you're like, whoa, whoa.
That looks like it's gonna be a beautiful wedding. I will send my thoughts and prayers.
Or I'll be there as a guest.
Prayers.
Because you're going to need some prayers after all of this.
For real.
But imagine doing all of this in the wedding, right? It's a little article I saw online. And you do all of this.
The bride pays for everybody.
The bride. Ooh.
Segue.
Good one. The bride pays for everything. Dress, makeup. There are, for this specific wedding, the bride is getting married and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Ooh, that's
10 bridesmaids.
That's a hefty check.
With 1 maid of honor, she's included, so 10 women. They all have the robes. They're at their wedding.
Looking Instagram fine.
Once they get married, Instagram finds a picture.
Uh-huh.
It's a picture of her husband, cheek to cheek, with one of the bridesmaids. And at first it's like, what is going on there? Well,
are they related? Are they brother and sister?
They ain't got no blood on them. They didn't grow up together. They ain't cousins. They ain't co-workers. They're not therapy buddies. None of it. This is the bride, the girl's friend, the bridesmaid, and that's just the husband. So he knows her through the bride. Baby, she done found some messages. Says, good night, sunshine. Thanks again for the ride and for the other quote unquote ride.
What?
Good morning, daddy. How are you feeling this morning? Hope you rested well. Have a blessed day.
Not blessed.
blessed day. And then when he says thanks again for the ride, she replies to that specifically and goes, LOL, you're welcome, daddy. This happens to be the bridesmaid and the husband. And now she done married the man. This is after the wedding. And now she's finding out these messages through what? What? There are some people out there that just don't care. Like, does he stay alive? Like, when I was talking to Dex, it's like, did he survive? Did you survive? Because I think this takes a plea of insanity. What's it called? When you do something out of love. A crime of passion. You don't get death for a crime of passion. You don't. How do you react to this?
I don't know. Who do I hit first? The boy or the girl? Because they both gonna get hit.
I don't know which one here is responding.
Oh, no, I know which one. The girl. I'm going to the girl first.
Yeah.
I'm going to the girl first because I want her to tell you she knows something. I want you to be shitting yourself by the time you need to come home to see me.
The girl?
Him.
Oh.
I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you
she's going to hit him.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to beat you up
when
first.
They were about to leave after the wedding, here the side chick is thinking things are still going to be the same thing. It's like, oh, you're just getting married, part of the wedding, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. So she messages him and goes,
cojones?
Los cojones así de grande, mami. Tiene cojones.
Yo.
Huge. So she texted
Side
him
bitches
and was like, what you doing? Taking you too long to respond to me. Are you busy or not free to chat?
Excuse me?
So he responds like, no, I'm not busy. So then she was like, the honeymoon trip was the only thing on your mind this morning when you woke up. He said, babe, stop this. Don't do that. This is something she and I talked about for months before the wedding. Let me just say this to you. I'm in love with you. The point I am with you. I can't pull back. Please beg. Don't do this. Obviously, every wedding, there's some type of honeymoon. That's a tradition, so please don't make anything out of that. That can't change what I'm feeling for you now. We don't have to keep doing this every day. Let's cherish each other.
Don't you hate when your man is stressed because his side chick is stressing him out? Imagine the girl, he's probably stressed, pissed, and your wife is like, what's wrong?
What's wrong? We just got married.
We're on our honeymoon. What's wrong? Don't you hate when the side bitch ruins your husband's mood?
I can't. You got to go over there. You have to go over there all by yourself.
I can't imagine sitting on the floor reading these text messages. I physically can't imagine.
I can't. I mean, somebody here, I remember when my ex-husband used to say I didn't have friends, and I would reply, yes, I do. I just don't bring them around you.
How do you feel about that? Because you had a situation like involving friends, and I don't want you with your friends, and you're too friendly.
Oh, well, this was separate because this one I feel like if I'm with someone and I feel like I can't bring a woman home because of you,
the problem is you.
Nigga, you's the problem.
Not my friends.
No, like I don't think again, it takes discernment and knowing who your friends are. But I also have friends, like I was telling Carlos and Carolina when I was recording with them. I first knew Carlos and they had just started. I was here often and recording. Hell, you were here with me. So we were always with him and he was going home like, oh, I really like this girl. She's really dope. And I'm going back like, I really like this guy. But I had to be very careful in my interactions with him. And when I text Carlos, I am so intentional. Or any married man or any man in a relationship.
There you go.
Any man in a relationship.
Keep it professional.
But even... I think he's dope. Like I really see him like from business. I'm like, those are my friends. Like I really love them both. But you still have to be very careful because even a text message can be taken the wrong way. You just have to be careful with the way you text somebody that's in a relationship. You need to be careful when you're texting somebody's husband. How you dress when you're around them. How you interact. All right. Yo le doy un beso like on the cheek. We're Hispanic or whatever. I don't need to be all up on somebody that's married. Like, oh hey, how. No. What? Mm-mm. Or like I've seen some women that will go, this happened to me. I'm with my partner and there was somebody that came up. We weren't friends, but clearly like we know you. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, wow, you look so good. Like, oh, your arms feel great. Excuse me? Let me show you what my fists look like. You want to touch these arms? You want to touch this fist? Like touch these guns? Are you serious? Or the gun. Literally. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's just so inappropriate to me. And people don't take that. Thing. And I don't want to be with a man that I can't bring my friends around. 1000%. And you shouldn't have friends that you can't bring your husband around. Correct. Or your man around. Correct. I also feel like that also puts let's put the responsibility on the husband. Okay. You're a husband. You, as a husband, or as a boyfriend, you need to know when if someone's being inappropriate, you need, like, yo,
You need to put a stop to it.
But
you need to say something.
There's also some people like Wendy, for example. Wendy is a very like sweet, like it's like she can come off flirty, but I also know Wendy's intentions, right?
Yeah.
Because there are some people, now I do know another friend that I guess now husband of the person would be like, oh, you look nice today, whenever she walked in. But it was like every time I'm like, wow, I love that dress on you. You look nice today, and I love that dress on you. Every time I see you, and every time they see you, it's
your
like
eye starts twitching.
Yeah, like your hair. It's like he would be like, yo, your hair. And it's like right next to my man. You know, I'd be like, please don't do that. It's like, it's awkward. For me, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like your wife is right there. Why are you, like, it's just extra. You look nice today. But you have to also know the person, right? There might be a type of person that likes to like liven people up and tell them, and that's cool. Yeah, that you know as a tracker. But there's just a line you need to cross.
Know as a man, as a woman. If he's the one that's married, as a woman, you need to know when you need to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. I'm very close friends with my friend Monica and her husband Anthony. I have Anthony's phone number. I have never texted Anthony.
Yeah,
he gave me his number.
I remember
I've never
with another couple friend of mine. They were engaged together, but I remember we were younger. They're younger than I am. And they were getting into these arguments, and he would message me. And I'd be talking to him, then I'd be talking to her, but I'd be like, hey, girl, he's messaging me, and I'm talking about this. And I never deleted one single text. I was like so paranoid. Yeah. Because I saw them both as like my little brother and sister. Yeah. And again, young. I was like 25, so they must have been like
Would you do that
21.
now?
No. I won't now. I feel like at that time, we were so young.
Yeah, it was
they
like
were even
childish.
Younger. Even though it was a serious relationship, but some of the arguments were so stupid. Yeah. And I'd be like, girl, stop it. This man.
No, but like if I have a boyfriend and he's like, Carla, I can't communicate with Paula. You make it I wish I could communicate with Paula the way that I communicate with you. Like there's just can you
Bitch, blocked. No, first of all, screenshot, send, blocked, get your nigga. I'm not talking to him again. Don't bring like, yo, what's up with him?
Like, but that's the thing. It's one of those things. It's a maturity thing.
Right.
It's a wisdom thing. I messaged Monica the other day because her husband's like on this workout kick. And I said, hey, tell the homie I'll be a bad bitch like him this weekend. I told her that. She's like, I am screenshotting the message as we speak to him. Right. We have a relationship where we joke around, but I know you can't do certain things with somebody's husband. It makes you look bad.
Like I message Laurent whenever like I have something that I want to talk to him about. I'm like, hey, can I give you a call, whatever. And I know I've never like messaged Alicia first. I'm like, hey, I'm about to message Laurent. But it's a very clear communication about something specific.
There's a purpose.
To him. There's definitely a purpose. Yeah. I'm not just messaging somebody's husband, hey, how was your day? The fuck you worried about my man's day for?
How are the kids doing?
Don't worry about my kids. Don't worry about what my husband's doing. Ask me that question. Yeah. You don't need to ask. Now, I do also understand if there was a friendship there before me. But even then, it's like, I feel like, okay, so I'm thinking of any guy friends that I may have that might end up with a girlfriend.
Okay, for example, me and 66 Bay.
Okay.
We joke around.
Right.
We homies. I could never text him.
But here's the thing. I do want I want my significant other and my friends to like, if y'all gonna throw a little party for me or do something for me or he wants to like ask, I want him to be able to text you guys.
No, so I wouldn't text him. We could talk about it while you're not around. Like if he's there at the house or something.
My nosy ass, I'm gonna be listening.
You don't know what me and him be talking about when you're not around? You don't know. We had conversations. Sometimes you be zoning out.
Sometimes.
We can have a lot of conversation.
Listen, when I tell you a man with me got the open free range to cheat on me because I'm like in La La Land all the time.
It's just you don't do certain things. Also, and I know this probably sounds very old and churchy of me, you don't want to give the devil any kind of opportunity where anything can happen. So as what I can control, I'm going to control.
Right.
If I know that's someone's husband, we're going to interact in a social setting.
I've been in a situation where someone's husband has sent messages.
It's like they're están tirando la caña. Let's see what she catches.
They definitely threw it a few times, and I'm just like, nope.
Because they're trying to see how am I going to act with you? How are we going to do this? And they just need a little bit.
Just a little bit. And I just be like, I replied very dry, or I leave it on scene because I'm like, there's no need for me to reply to this.
It's very easy to fall. And it's something like, you may not even think it's intentional. Like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. But it's like you already opened the door a little bit.
And
So
once you open that door, it's like water. It's not like a person walking in. Literally, you open that door and the water starts seeping in. And before you know it, you can't stop it. The water's already in there. You can't go back from that.
Little by little, now you're fucking.
Also, like the take the sock
That's what
off.
guys say. That's like, what guys say happens. I just fell. It just happened. How does that? Please, guys, men. Women too.
It doesn't.
How does things just happen?
They don't.
How?
That's the thing. They absolutely don't. You have to let it get there. Okay, we're going to do... sorry. We're going to do one letter.
Ooh.
And
I love our listener
So
letters.
the subject of this letter is, my ex-new girlfriend sent me a confrontational message on Instagram.
My
ex's new girlfriend sent me a confrontational message on Instagram.
She came to you as a woman.
Woman to woman.
Okay.
Man or woman. Okay. So here's a little backstory. My ex is seeing a woman, and I noticed that this woman was watching my Instagram stories for a few months. I have no problem with it, but recently she did again. So when I asked my ex for a key that he still has, I mentioned to him that she's watching my stories and that I hope it is out of curiosity and not insecurity.
Pause. Why do you need this key back right now? You could have changed the locks. Why you need a key back now?
You could find another key. But okay.
Poquito, suave, suavecito. Keep going.
So he says that, and not insecurity, that I hope he's making her feel secure in her relationship.
Poquito, suave, suavecito.
That same day, she sends me a message on IG. Her account is on private, so the message went to my request folder. Mm-hmm. I did not see the message until a few days later, and she wrote this to me. Good evening. She ain't want you to have a good evening. It was my pleasure to introduce myself in this chat as, she wrote her name. Mm-hmm. I learned you might have some complaints about my activity on IG. Moving forward, please address them directly with me. I'll be happy to actively listen to you as we are both adult women. Here's my number for your convenience, 647.
Blah, blah, blah.
I won't say the rest. Have a wonderful night and happy Eclipse Day. I feel this message comes across as confrontational and passive-aggressive. My initial reaction was to respond to it, but now I have not decided whether to or not to, and what I would write. Girl, you the problem here.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you knew.
Listener letter. Girl, you was petty from
Messy
the beginning.
And
I know you listening to this and you laughing because you know that what you did was wrong. That girl coming to you saying that there may be some concerns, that's because her man said, I don't want you to act crazy, but this person has reached out to me about this situation.
What you doing looking at her stuff for? And it's like, what? What are you talking about? There's a few things here that is none of your concern. I hope it's out of curiosity, not insecurity. Why do you think she's insecure by looking at your things?
You need to change your locks. Your house is not secure.
Right. Word. And why do you still have like this much access to him if he's already dating someone else? Why do you care about if he's making her feel secure or not? That's none of your concern. You're just trying to inch and see what he will say. You just want to get some like, she just jealous of you, or like, or trying to see if there's some like fires over there, if they're having issues in their relationship, and you just want to get a good feel. Like you're making it seem like, oh, she's being passive aggressive. You were being passive aggressive.
You started the passive aggressiveness, girl.
Right. So this girl said, hey, yeah, I've been looking at your stuff. I can clearly see you can see I'm looking at you. When you look at
hiding.
I'm not hiding. I didn't look from a fake page. I looked from my page. Yeah. And I wanted to see. Now, if you wanted to know why I was looking at it, ask me.
If you don't want me to see, block me. If you don't want me to see, block me.
Which I can still make another page and go, look, but you just gonna make it a little harder. That's it. All I know is that right now, I don't see your name. Listen. And how do you know that's his new girl? You've been looking too.
Oh.
How do you know that's a new girlfriend? Oh, baby, you've been stalking and you've been on your fake page and looking at her stuff.
Listen, if you guys send us letters, we're not always going to side. We're going to side with the truth and what's right.
That's it.
Girl, fuck your key. Who cares about the fucking key?
You can change the lock. Like,
who cares about the key? Send a letter and tell us what you really wanted. What did you really want with reaching out to this person and getting a key? Like, what's the point of that? And the girl was not being passive aggressive. She was standing on business. She said, if you got a problem, tell me. What's the problem?
That's it.
What's the problem?
It was the problem. So hopefully they're still together.
Imagine you got a text message like that on your Instagram. So I noticed that you've been watching my page. and you've made comments and stuff, and I really don't.
I
really don't-
wouldn't. I mean, I look. Don't get me wrong, and I've seen, but I wouldn't reach out to him or anything. Like, it's just, I saw what I saw, and it is what it is. And honestly, nowadays, I just don't even have the energy to really follow your entire life. Like my
Not the
exes,
wreck.
it's like, I don't want to. I don't care. I'm having so much fun in the situation. It's not a situation. What am I in? In my
Bed?
journey at the moment.
The couch. I
Did I
hope
do
not the
anything on the
couch. I hope not. I sleep
don't
on that couch.
Maybe I did. I didn't.
Now there's ghosts
I
and
don't.
children in that house.
No, but seriously, I feel like mind your business and don't start trying to stir things up. You knew what you wanted from that man.
It's the summer.
And I can't
Don't-
lie, honestly. I just tried to lie right before this episode. Listen.
God works quick with this one, y'all. Like, I tell you.
He works good with the good things and the bad things. I literally told everybody right here, shh, be quiet. I'm about to lie. I'm about to say it was a pretty significant lie. I mean, nothing that's like going to kill anybody, but
it's a coincidence to say that.
right. So I wanted to be like, this happened. Can you help with this? It was really me trying to get somebody to help me, but to make it seem like I really needed it when I really could have just been like, hey, I need you to do this. Because I really could have just told her that, hey, do this for me, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have to lie, but I just felt the need to lie. I don't know why. And instantly, the lie was in order for someone to do something for me so I can go somewhere else.
Specific. God is
very
specific.
Specific place.
God is very specific when he talks.
To me?
First and last name.
He's loud with me. So I was like, this is going on, blah, blah. And someone in the background goes, oh, no, we're not going here. We're going to go here instead.
And
the
it's
exact same place. And there's only one of
There's
those.
only one.
It can't even be one in Dr. Phillips and one over. One.
It's only one.
One. So I'm like, oh, immediately I feel it within me, which I'm going to tell her the truth tonight. I am. I'm just going to be like, we were just running late. Honestly, because it was just we were running late. I just didn't want to say we were running late.
Be like, listen, the Lord.
Why did I lie?
The Lord has convicted me to tell you.
I am. Because I shouldn't lie to her.
That was quick. Jesus, don't do that to
Lord,
me.
the God don't play with me. And because he don't play with me, I'm going to read a Bible verse to just, because Lord, my purpose is to really bring people into your path and into, our lives. And I need to tell you that I lied today.
I just loved her concern too. She was like, so do you need me to get him? Like,
do you need me? Oh my God. Like,
she didn't even say, well, I'm at the gym. She's like, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And she's at work. She's essentially going to leave work
like,
early.
Yeah,
but
fine.
I'm like, and I was already going to pay for her to go to dinner. Like, I was going to
compensate her.
Compensate words be real hard sometimes, especially when you're lying.
I think it's the ones that you got to pay for that scare you. Any money words that you have to put out money, you're like, oh,
why do I have to pay again? Okay, well, this one is Lamentations, because I am lamentating. I have to tell her the truth. 3:22 and 23, and it says, the Lord's love never ends. His mercies never stop. They are new every morning. Lord, your loyalty is great. I'm so glad it's new every morning because I lied today. But this is really true. Like, sometimes we feel like maybe God might not be on your side, or things are just going wrong, or maybe you're just not getting to go on that vacation you want to go to because you got kids, or maybe right now the job is not jobbing, it's not giving you the income that you wanted to give you. But I just need us all to know that his love will never end. His mercy never stops. So even when you do wrong, like lying, he's going to have mercy on you, and he's going to like bring everything back to the way that it needs to be, the way that he has ordained for you. And there is also a new morning. Like, what we say, the sun, what's
the best
saying?
thing God made was one day after another.
I like that one even better. That wasn't the one, but I
My
like that
mom
one.
says that. I want to get that tattooed. Ever since I can remember, whenever I would be like stressed out or upset about something, ay, Paola, si lo mejor que hice Dios fue un día tras del otro.
And it's true.
And now that I'm older, I'm like, I'd be having some shitty days, but guess what? Tomorrow's another day.
Tomorrow's a new
And
day.
you got another day. If you're lucky, you got another one and another
There's
one.
something I love about 6 when he's having a bad day. Recently, he's having a bad day, and he's like, you know what? That's it. I'm giving out. Tomorrow's another day. Like, I'm not going to complain about it.
What did Glorilla say? At the end of the day,
the
day's going to end.
And with that being said, at the end of this episode, it's got to end. And we are out of here. Thank you so much for staying for another episode. Thank you for staying later than usual because we were running a little bit late. I was really optimistic. But, bro, from 12 to 5:30, 4 episodes, I think that's not bad.
Adderall, what is it? Adderall extended release. Please sponsor her.
I don't even have those. No, it's called ID to Launch. We know how to do this. And Hi Hello Labs being here and ready to go with the cameras on set. So again, if you're in Orlando, you want to make sure you come to Hi Hello Labs, please do so. It's highhellolabs.com. Look at me. I even know it. Put it on here. HiHelloLabs.com if you're in the Orlando area and you want to use any of the spaces that I usually use here for recording. If you want to launch your own podcast and use a chorus and, have me behind you kind of helping you executive produce, idtolaunchpodcast.com. I can help you with that. And I got to go. I'm hungry.
Follow my Instagram.
Oh, Just Pales. Get her to 10,000 subscribers so you can show some titties.
Oh, no. Edit that out, Courtney.